We're on your side tonight with a celebration. We like to honor our milestones around here at WBTV, and there was a big one today. 30 years ago, our now chief meteorologist, Al Conklin, arrived right here in these very studios. In the years since, he's gotten us through hurricanes and thunderstorms, floods and snowstorms. Al has lasted 3 decades because of something you already knew. He's really good at his job. And if you've met him, you know he's even a better person. We chatted about his 3-decade career at WBTV earlier today. Do you remember walking in the first time?
I do, yeah. I came into a clattering of typewriters and, edit bays and photographers running everywhere, cigarette smoke. It was a different work environment. And I was actually a half hour late the first day because I got lost on my way here.
Couldn't find the station?
I could not find the station. I wound up on Beatty's-Ford Road.
Oh, that's amazing. Take me back if you can. What was it about the weather bug that got you? Why did you want to do this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I grew up outside New York City, and I'd lay there in my bed at night and I'd hear the snowplow come down the street, and I knew, well, we're not having school tomorrow. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I know it's a plowable event. We're not having school. Our basement flooded during Hurricane Agnes. There was 3 feet of water. And I was just amazed. How are these things happening? What makes these things happen? And it was really a sort of a childhood hobby more than anything else.
The thing about it, though, is there's 2 parts to this job. You're a scientist, you're a broadcaster.
That's right.
Which was harder to master?
The broadcast part of it, to be honest with you. First short weather day as well for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're tracking rain. I really didn't know what I was doing when I got into this business. I started in radio and, wore a baseball hat to work every day. Then I shifted over to TV, but I really didn't know exactly what I was doing. I wasn't really a great writer. I had to figure those kinds of things out, and I asked a lot of questions in that newsroom from other people to say, hey, how do I say this? What's the best way to present this?
Yeah.
Because I know the science part of it, but I really don't know the TV part of it.
You're telling a story about the weather every day and how it's practically impact on your life. Yep. And that sounds like it's easy, but it's not to develop that skill.
It's not, but I'll tell you what I learned a long time ago. I look at these cameras and I always just envisioned, my family, my mom, somebody on the other side of that camera. All they want to know, is it going to rain or not?
Generally speaking, 30 plus years into this, what kind of forecast gives you the most stress still?
Severe weather is really tough. So I never want anybody to get hurt. I never want anybody's property to be damaged. But it is what it is. We know weather's going to come, so my job is to, give you as much advance notice as possible. That's what that whole First Alert brand is about. But also so that you can, I can't make a decision for you, but I can maybe help you make a decision.
All that said,
yeah.
Was there still a moment, an event where you're watching the data and you're like, oh my goodness, I am petrified right now for people in this area?
Well, yeah, 2019, 4 years ago, in that February outbreak, Jonathan Stacy and I were on the air here for 4.5 hours straight. I think it was February 19th, I want to say, somewhere in that time. We had 7 tornado warnings at one time here, and I knew they were the real deal. We were getting ground truth from trained observers, and I thought, oh my God, it's just a real deal. And then the next day I went out to places like Shelby and Boiling Springs and Kings Mountain and talked to people who said, man, I was listening to you. My son and I were huddled up right here. Look at the oak tree that came through the other side of the house. You really were on our side. And I will never forget that.
Why do you think it's important for the meteorologist to get out of this and out there so often when you can?
So I always think it's important for us to take the tie off, get out from this office, we don't even have a window in here, and go find out what the real weather is like and what it really means to people. If we don't know, just like you reporters, you go out and you talk to people. This is real life, right? We sit behind desks and we do what we have to do. We present the news. We sit in front of a green screen and tell you about the weather. It's important for us to go out there, though, and actually see what the real impact is when a flood comes. And I've done that many times over my career, and it's always a humbling experience to kind of get a feel for who's really on the other end of what it is that we're saying and how they're receiving the information.
30 years here at WBTV, you've had opportunities to go on to somewhere else. Why'd you stay?
Never really wanted to leave, to be honest with you. I jumped around a lot early in my career, like everybody else in our business, always trying to find that right fit. And I had an opportunity to go to the Weather Channel, and I turned it down because I really wanted to stay in what we call affiliate television, local TV. I wanted to stay where you could put down a family and put down roots and connect to a local community. I married a girl from Morehead City, and I thought, you know what, that'd be a great place to land. And the guy that hired me, we came here as newlyweds with no children, he said, I hope you have so many babies you never leave. And we never left.
Congratulations, Al. 30 years here at WBTV, and I said at the beginning, he's even a better person than he is a meteorologist, and he's a great meteorologist. So that was a lot of fun to get to. But the funniest thing I thought was the first day on the job when he got lost and he showed up a half hour late.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I didn't know that story.
I hadn't heard that either.
I feel like I was learning a lot there. That was really
Yeah.
good. I'm glad that you guys had the opportunity to talk.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations, Al.
an incredible milestone.